Nova is here, he's the leader of Alpha, leading the charge. Yeah. With his main man Heavy, hit up right by, hit his side at the raid. Together they fight, across the corridor, rich and valor, fighting for good. They refuse to back down in this war for justice. They wear the crown. Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. For the cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly underground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top. Through shadows of doubt, they light up the way. With power and purpose, they seize every day. Their enemy tremble in the dark. Nova and Heavy Hitter, our heroes embark in the big galaxy that's covered by night. They bring the fire and ammunition to ignite. For it's Alpha they serve, their honor was true. Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. Fighting for the cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly on the ground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top. For every shadow, they bring the light. Nova and Alpha, defenders of the right.
Hey kids, this is Pulsary Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And before I turn my camera on, we've got to do something really quickly here, which is we have got to pause our folding going on over at Dr. Doge. We're folding some proteins, saving the world, one disease at a time. So we're going to pause this so my graphics card will work. But up to date, I think I've got, 1337. I have elite work units. That's a very cool number. 1337 work units, 32% of them, 20% of the team. And I haven't been able to see my Dr. Doe show up in my internet money wallet, but it does show up in my OKX. Let's see here if it shows up. No, there's no transaction showing up here in this one. Actually, this might be the other one. Hang on. Well, let's go here. Receive. Oh, no, that's just a receive address. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Either way, let me turn my little camera back on for you guys and say good morning. Good morning. There we go. Good morning, folks. Welcome to Cuatro Cinco Studios. We're having coffee in a bear market. So let me put this on to honor our bear. We honor the bear until the bear leaves. That's all we can do right now. Lately, Pulse Chain has been more of a life support market than a bear market, but we're here. We're still kicking and still building, and we're still having fun. We got this crazy ProveX sacrifice going on. We'll get into that. I really haven't checked into that. We got Red Squirrel in the house. What's up, Red Squirrel? He made a lot of the art in that music video from Rip City Cuts or Rip City Hex, and he also made that original the planet one with the cool music and the highlights of anti-gravity. Tracy G in the place to be. Good to see you, Tracy G, as always. Ahoy, mates. Hexy's in the house. Max, have you claimed your Dr. Doge airdrop? I have not claimed my Dr. Doge airdrop. I think I got a message from the Dr. Doge team about that, and I haven't been a busy boy. Here's a StreamYard link if any of you guys want to jump in here with your coffee and say hello and talk about ProveX or just the state of the market. Yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I paused my folding at home and Dr. Doge. In fact, I wonder if it's on their website here. If we go here and refresh it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to claim my airdrop here. Yeah, I wonder, is that for the Cure token or is that for another one? We'll have to take a look. Actually, let me share my screen so you guys can see what I've been reading. I'll put my face down here. Okay, so let's go back to here. Let's go to our messages. Let's go down here, Dr. Doge. Here's the link. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, this is it right here. Dr. Doge $25,000 folding sprint event. I didn't even know that was going on. Dr. Doge's. Let's click on this link. Yeah, wow. This is on Medium. The smartest dumb idea ever seen. I love that. Excuse me. 1 week, 25,000 PDI, real science, real rewards, real fun. The Dr. Doge project's main goal is rewarding real scientific contribution through folding at home with Dr. Doge. Now, for a limited time, Dr. Doge is creating a fun event, builds community while actually being useful at the same time. Believes memes, humor, real science can unite people. Folding an additional $25,000 PDI to participants on the top of the existing 5,753 Dr. Doge rewards for a week. So I've been folding pretty well here, as you can see. Let's see, what's the folding sprint? Yeah, it's just folding. Daily Dr. Doge rewards 821. Daily PDI rewards going to be 3,572. So the duration, it starts on August 20th of 2025. You start your folding at home. Oh, so I've been folding during that time. Connection. The connection between Dr. Doge and PDI, absolutely nothing at all. There's no tokenomic connection, no hidden master plan. It's simply a fun event, something for the community to enjoy together. Also doing something useful in the process. Think of it as a side quest. How to join it. Yeah, that shows you basically set these 5 steps up and start folding with your GPU. Signs can be profitable. So there was this thing. I didn't even know this was going on, actually. If it really did start in August, I mean, that's absolutely crazy. Okay. So there's that, the Medium article. And what we already have is a low-hanging fruit, is a built-in airdrop system. For example, we send out dark to PMW holders, but we're open to more fun ideas as well. We previously held PDI event. It was kind of a nothing burger, but at least the tech worked perfectly, so it was a good test. Cool. So there is an airdrop. You'll have to tell me in the comments or jump on stream, Hex, see how I get that airdrop, because I'm all about airdrops. Moonbutt reposted the stream. Thank you so much, Moonbutt. Good to see you here in the comments. Believe in yourself. And yeah, good times. Hello, Moonbutt. Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, geez, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that airdrop. It should be here on their main screen or their main website. Learning swapping. Here's a bridge right there using Hyperlane. Yeah, I'll have to see if I'm how to claim that. I'll ask him. So yeah, check that out. Dr. Doge is one of the funnest things I've been doing lately. drdoge.net is their website, and then you download, if you go here to Smart Pups Do Science, And you scroll down here to the step-by-step install folding at home. Right here, you got to download this one right here, version 8.4. You just install it, and then you get a passkey from your email and add it there. And before you know it, you're earning up to 8 cents a day, which is I joke about that, but it is cool to mine an actual coin, especially while it's super cheap, and just kind of see where this leads. And it does feel good to help do something to help Alzheimer's, things like that. I need you to figure it out and show me. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll have to figure it out together. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's take a look at the charts today, and take a look at this 4-year cycle, which is not rhyming with the last 4-year cycle at all, unfortunately. Let's start out here with, we're on Actuator right now. Actuator took a little dip back down here, but it's still making higher lows and somewhat higher highs. So it's got some good momentum here. We've locked some, we've added liquidity with Actuator and TARC because we believe in HEX, we believe in liquid T-shares. And I think that the team, man, like Bill and RJ, I think it's RJ. Yeah, RJ. Bill and RJ are very, very smart gentlemen that are thinking ahead and see things in a very, very macro view. And there's this token, the Actuator token, is only going to be issued for 3 years. And it's already received its first big drop. In fact, where are you at, Actuator? I always have to pull up the site here to figure it out. Yeah, Actuator Finance. I've got their app already up, but I did want to go here. FAQ, frequently asked questions. What's HEX time token? How's the Actuator related? What's the Actuator token? Here we go. So the Actuator token holders earn HEX time tokens through HTT creation fees. So 75% of the Actuator supply is distributed through liquid farms. 25% goes to team. Tokens deflationary has a max supply of 1 billion Actuator. And then if you go up here to the top and you go to, I think it's under Learn. No, Learn has got a bunch of videos. A cool one, a couple cool ones from me. We got my interview with Bill and RJ where they started explaining what they did here, which is, basically they took Icosa and Hedron, the HSI stakes, which are basically just stakes that they're HEX stakes that you can move from one wallet to the other. There are HEX stakes that you can also sell. And they had the Hedron token, which you could borrow against some of the value of your stake. Anyways, cool stuff. And what they did was they basically took that and added another level, or like an expansion pack on a board game, and basically made the liquid T-shares, like basically made a derivative of the T-shares themselves. And that's what the HTTs are, the HEX time tokens, that are set at various, you can set them for whatever date you want, but usually they're in thousands. So as you can see, they're like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. And I'm really just trying to find their, here it is. Okay, so Actuator token right here. So the overview, the tokenomics, the liquidity mining, and the Actuator vaults, which we've done an Actuator vault before. We got some HEX time tokens from that, which was cool. But yeah, I digress. That's another step past farming the Actuator token. So let's just go down to tokenomics. Here's the tokenomics. So this is the distribution schedule. As you can see, the farm emissions go up for 3 years, and the team unlock goes up slightly. And then you got the forge, which is, I don't know, we got to go figure out what the forge is up to. But the forge, they get a chunk of the actuator tokens, which is cool. But last year, they distributed 350 million tokens. This year, they're going to distribute a quarter of a billion. So 250 million tokens this year from, I believe it's October 8th to October 8th. And then next year, it's going to drop again to 150 million tokens. And that's going to be it. And you can see the team received 88 million last year. They're going to receive 63 million, and then they're going to receive 38 million tokens, which is pretty interesting because I think if you look at these groups of the actuator token, you look at the deposits for the liquidity, you look at the vaults, if you look in the vaults right now, there's 65 million actuator tokens in the vault of Hex Time Token 7,000, 33 million, 26 million. I mean, I'm guessing most of these are either people that got in really early or the team, really running their own ecosystem, which is something that we've seen done in Hex with the OA. That's something that we've seen in Dark Matter and Anti-Gravity, our project. We've seen that with the Mystery Box and the Evil Address, which is turning out to be not so evil. So that's neither here nor there, but that's the actuator token, right? That was a long way to basically say, I think that this actuator token has legs. I think it's tied very closely to the T-shares and to Hex. And I think that this is going to do fairly well. I blew my mind that the OA, when it just staked everything, that it didn't go through this system and really just boom. It might have blown it out of the water. Maybe the OA has bigger things on its mind, obviously, with ProveX and whatever going on. But it's sitting there. This may have been the bottom right here. We'll see as we go forward in our life support market, as I like to call it. Let's go here. So here's the Dark and Actuator pair. It's got $2,500 paired between the two of them. And as you can see, wow, look at this crazy, crazy dip. On this pair, Dark went down to $1.39 on a wick, and then popped back up here to $1.75. That's crazy. $47 in volume. How does $47 in volume affect the price that much? That's insane. That is insane in the membrane. I'm not seeing any addresses that are familiar to me. But either way, yeah, it looks like, in fact, the price here, so the price the price wicked there on a bid and ask, but it's not showing up on the buys and sells. That's how fast that wick was. And so, yeah, that's it right there. And then, of course, Dark and Hex. This has a little bit meatier. We've got 18.7. So almost 19,000 paired here. It was 20,000 up here when it was back above $2. And the same crazy low wick right here. It wasn't done on that last pair. It might be on this one. Yeah, you have $682 of volume. Still is not a lot compared to the 19K. But yeah, you look down here and it looks like the Drunken Sailor is back from vacation and he's dumping. He's dumping again. He's just constant sell pressure, which right now is maybe, a blessing for you guys that are looking to pick some up. So if you look at this, you just click on that address. Oh no, I didn't want to open one of these. I wanted to just go like this. Yeah, this constant sell pressure is bananas here. It just goes on and on and on. These are all from the same address right here. Just constant sell pressure. He started selling, I think, back at $20, $18-20, and he's just constantly continuing to take every ounce of economic energy he can out of the ecosystem. And I'm hoping putting it to good use somewhere else. But even here, I don't even see the price going down to where the wick was. let's keep going. Let's see what pair that was on. But here you can actually see, here's his sells on the chart. You know, ever since it was paired with Hex, he's been selling. So he was selling back here, in the 20s. But yeah, he's just. It would be interesting to see what the chart would look like if these weren't here. However, eventually, everyone runs out of dark. You don't have enough dark. You don't have enough fuel cells, and the smart thing that this address did was they minted like crazy in the beginning. So they have a very, very large amount of fuel cells. And so that will be a place for them to continue to harvest dark and sell it. However, I mean, there might be a time when this person looks back at these prices that they dumped and been like, man, I should have sold a kidney instead, or a dishwasher, or my stereo system, whatever it is. They might look back and really regret these sales. Like, I think a lot of people will regret sales going on right now in the pulse chain ecosystem, because I think this is the bottom. I mean, had you been intelligent enough, I wasn't, but if you were one of the people, actually this address sold 40-cent hex back in the day. I did not sell my 50-cent hex. I thought it was going to continue going on forever. I thought we had broken the Fourier cycle and defied gravity. But yeah, if you'd sold back there, right now I feel is like as bad as it's gonna get in the pulse chain ecosystem. And I know a lot of people right now are selling core tokens so that they can join the sacrifice, the ProveX sacrifice. And so I don't know, like Richard Hart's like, should I rip off the Band-Aid fast or slow? And it was like fast. And so he's like, okay, I'm just gonna bludgeon the price of my core tokens yet again and raise money, on some tokens. And like I said, I understand I understand, because if let's say I did a sacrifice, I don't know if I would accept dark for a sacrifice, because I would know that I wouldn't be able to sell that dark. Like I can't sell dark, at least at these prices. There's some prices in my mind in the future where I could probably sell some dark, but right now, this is insane. I would rather go get a day job, clean carpets, and maybe be buying in at these prices of dark, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, this is bananas, but it is 175, which is an insane deal. I think Dark and Pink Miss Well has the most liquidity right here. This one has $34,000. It started out at $50,000 not that long ago, and the price of both Pink Miss Well and Dark have gone down with the market. And as you can see here, this is interesting. There's almost $35,000 of liquidity and $261 of volume. So there's almost no volume on this pair. This pair has really sheltered Dark from the storm, because you would have had to either go through Pink Miss Well and dump Pink Miss Well for pulse, which you could do, but you get a better deal going straight through that hex pair and the pulse pair, because they're just straighter. They're closer to getting into other coins and getting your money off the market. So yeah, we had a nice bounce here, and then this is a dead cat bounce, is what they call it. I was hoping this might be the bottom of dark. It's not the bottom of dark, although, like I said, I don't see where the price, like I see where it went to $1.30, but I don't see it reporting on any of these buys or sells all the way down there, and how big of a sell that would have to be. But either way, like I said, there's very little. You basically have to buy dark off the market right now, or burn your fuel cells to get it. You also have to buy Pink Miss Well off the market, pretty much. There's only a handful of addresses that have more than 1,000 dark. So this has been like a really good pair that's held a lot of value and protected us from the storm. Then of course you got the 2 Fux pool. tokens that don't suck. I regret naming it that when I look at this chart. And then you got Dark and How We Don't Play That. It's got $1,000 of value in it. Funny, you don't see the founder of Homie Don't Play That selling for Homie Don't, turning his Dark into Homie Don't Play That. Just gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna set that down and walk away like a bag of flaming dog poop on a porch, man. Yeah, interesting that they're not buying their own token. It's almost as though they created a dump only token forever. Dark and Dragon Believers got 400, almost $500 of volume. It's following the pattern of everything else, $177. Pink Miss Well, you can get, holy cow, it wicked all the way down to $55 for $1 million. So you can get, for $65, you can get $1 million Pink Miss Well, send them to the Pink Miss Well. I haven't sent out a tweet or made this official, but I'm just telling you guys because we have a micro community. So those of you that are going to take advantage of this are most likely have already taken advantage of the crazy deal we were giving out for the first 20 million. But yeah, this one is fallen. $65 plus slippage of Pink Miss Well right now. We'll get you 11 J8 live lottery tickets, 5 J4 unscraped tokens, may have lottery winnings on them, and 1 dark. And right now, if we go to our, what's going on with this one? 0 tickets. So we're still at 60 out of 100 for the Pink Miss Well. Yeah, and the update, I've got an update obviously on the scrape button. The update is that there is no update. The same problem that we had with the Pink Miss Well game, I believe, is the same problem we're having here, where we just need a dev to point to a different RPC on the back end, and the scrape button should work. However, if we don't get the scrape button working in the next 8 days and 14 hours, we'll probably be turning it off again until Journey 9, until after our birthday, because why ruin the first payout of Journey 9 when we could just build it up to the jackpot again? I don't know. So that's it with the evil address scrape button. It's still not live, still waiting on a dev. Welcome to crypto, where no matter what you do, there's always something you cannot control. But if you go to view my fuel cells, every one of those J4s has already got 1/3 of a dark in them. So you'd be getting, 1.5 dark right there. Or actually, no, 1.5 dark from just already. And then you'd be receiving 2.5 dark if you waited 8 days. So that's a pretty good cash value rebate right off the bat, right there. And as I said, when it's the winter, when it's the bear market, we think about the bull market. When it's the bull market, we think about the bear market. So now, as things are in the gutter in life support, I mean, I would say things are in the basement, but this is more like a meso silo that goes down 50 floors into the center of the earth. That's where I feel like Pulse Chain's economic energy is right now. But we do look at here. This is the all-time high. This is the default. This was when we hit $135 basically with Casey's candle, and this would be the cash value if we go back up to $135. There's a lot less dark on the market than there was back then. So if we do get an injection of economic energy into Pulse Chain, which I believe it's just a matter of time that we will, then this could be the cash value of each of these. Every Journey 1 would be worth $130 at that price. Journey 2 would be worth $93, $70, $44. And then look at this, Journey 5 is worth $82. Journey 6 is worth $31. 7s, which have only gotten one payout, would be worth $16, and so on. So yeah, that's That's really interesting. And then, of course, if you just waited 8 days, it would go up dramatically to where like this one that's worth nothing right now would be worth $20. The one worth $16 would be worth $80. The one worth $30 would be worth $97. So you can see that this is changing dramatically as the treasury peaks and then exhausts. The biggest payout is projected to be this one coming up in 8 or 9 days, meaning it's going to give out the most dark from the treasury ever, because it's going to be paying out. It's going to be paying out 8 different, sets of NFTs possibly, and we're keeping an eye on this one right here, the evil address, to see what happens to that one in between now and then. But if these aren't scraped, then if we nuke them, we're just going to burn more dark like we did when we burnt 26,000 dark. 2.6% of the entire supply was burnt the last time we nuked the evil address out of Journey 7. So yeah, there's that. That's the Pink Miss Well deal right there. You guys have 8 days, right? We just had our lottery. The jackpot's in 8 days and 14 hours. So you guys got about 8 days to buy some Pink Miss Well, set it over there and just get that as part of your, it's a heck of a deal. What's up, Hexkins? What's up, Tin Top? Tin Top 5555. I don't think that Axiom Icon knows that you are the homie that chose him for the Journey 7 NFT. That Drunken Sailor lols. Wow. Lesson learned, Max? Don't give influencers free tokens. Let me be, okay. So let me do a little confessional booth here with you guys. At the very beginning of this project, I believed the Drunken Sailor was the Pink Miss Well. I thought it was the same entity. And so seeing all of the great things the Pink Miss Well was doing for our community and ecosystem, I was more than happy to give bonuses and preferential treatment to the Drunken Sailor. It turns out that the Drunken Sailor is not the Pink Miss Well. And so, yeah, that was a very painful lesson to find that out, that we've been rewarding the wrong participant, and really bit me in the butt. In fact, at one point, no, I'm not going to go there. It's not mine to share. But yeah, good point. And one of the best pieces of advice I'd ever been given in crypto as a founder was from Rags to Riches. Rags to Riches told us, he said, don't give away any more tokens than you are willing or able to buy back. And we thought we were doing that with just, sending 11% of the supply out on the market. But as it went from $1 to $135, it was very clear. It was like, oh, that's a lot of money to buy 11% right back off the market. And so, yeah, that was a very painful lesson, something I'll be carrying with me in the future, should I ever do a sequel to Dark Matter Anti-Gravity or anything else in the future. Good morning, Crypto Cat. Good to see you. Still deal. It is a still deal. How many pulls per Pink Miss Well? That's a great question, Smo Spider. Let's take a look here. Let's do it in pulse. It looks like it's 2.5 pulse per Pink Miss Well right now. And it's been as high as 11 or 12 pulse per Pink Miss Well. And I think it's just a matter of time, because it's crazy. People chase green candles, right? So if you look at this right here, the price was doing really good back here. Even right here, it had a couple of good bounces, and people were understanding the Pink Miss Well deal and taking advantage of it. Its price was going up. And now when it's cheap, when dark is cheap and the fuel cells are cheap, no one's playing. But should the price go up, more people are going to take advantage of things like the Pink Miss Well deal. And yeah, I believe we'll have a repeat of this pattern at some point. And as far as pump.tires tokens, this is not a bad chart. This is not a bad chart at all. This is actually one of probably one of the top 10 or top 20 projects from Pump.Tires. I don't know where a list is to check that out, but I'd be willing to bet that the fact that it's hanging on to 65K market cap after being around since February. Yeah, February 11th is when it launched. No, February 10th is when it launched. Yeah, for almost being like 9 months old, this is a success on Pump.Tires compared to a lot of them. So good question. Thanks for asking, Smo. Hello, Tin Top. Hey, cheap. No, it's cheap. It's ridiculously cheap. This is like buying. It's like buying Bitcoin back at $150 in 2015. Like maybe even less than that. I don't know. Let's take a look at. We already looked at actuator. Let's look at Pulse. Pulse, yeah, Pulse has this crazy death wick. Look at this. It broke out of our triangle to the downside, which I didn't think would happen. Whoever picked it up down here, congratulations. I think that hopefully will be a very good price in the future. But I don't think this is going to, well, I guess it's just a matter of time to find out if this stays below this level of resistance or if it pops back up and rides this level of support. But yeah, that's a pop out. It definitely popped out in not to the direction we were hoping for. But wow, look at that. That's bananas. So I guess I don't feel too bad. I'm thinking what we saw here was, yeah.
Can we get a ride?
Yeah. You want to go start the car? Go open the garage? Thanks. So yeah, this is breaking down the downside right here. Let me see if I got anyone in the green room to take over. No, I won almost 4 dark in the last lotto. That's awesome. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I believe we have that here unscraped in this one right here. Yeah, we have one for 3.755. Let me. I'm gonna. Well, shoot. Most of you guys commenting, I believe, are on YouTube. Oh yeah, YouTube, I guess, is sending out these alerts. It's pretty good. I just don't want to piss them off by playing too much copyright music in here. So I'm gonna dip for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Let me see. Let's leave this baby on. Here's Dr. Doge again, which took a haircut, stab down, but is working its way back to a penny. And then of course Hex. We're going to see that same death stab from Hex right there. And for some reason these have gone completely out of whack, but we'll redraw those when I get back. Yeah, and in the meantime, I'm going to throw up one song for you guys. That same song. In fact, let's do Darkness Falls. Did I share my audio? No, I'll just go over here and do my media. Yeah, we'll do the same topograph. This one right here, this cosmic topography from Red Squirrel. I'll play that, and then you'll see the infinity screen for a while, and then I'll be back. So just give me a couple minutes, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, folks, I'm back. Let's check the comments here. Yeah, when I'm almost Fort Dark. Soon I'll be sharing some jokes about library books. They are long overdue. Meaning you got to pay the library for overdue books, or the jokes are overdue, lols. When I get into work, I immediately hide. Good employees are hard to find. Oh, I love it. I love it. Bring in the dad jokes. I got to take out the trash real quick since it seems overdue. Take it out. Hiding is good. Better for the soul, it turns out. So seasonal too. I love to go hide. I went for an interview at IKEA. The manager greeted me by saying, "Come in, make a seat." Oh, that one is I love it. I love how bad that one is. It's different language. Here she sounds cool. Uh, got to make a chair there. I use a fiber red glue when I want to keep it together. I like that. Or buy dark at these low prices. Low ranges. Low ranges is right. Like, look at this. I kind of lost track of where I was even going this morning because I wanted to talk about these 4-year cycles, right? Like, here, let's bring this down to here. Or actually, it's down here. Let's bring it down to this death wick right there. And we'll have it now. I mean, it was kind of like this, but now it's much, much wider. It's right about there. And then we'll just grab this one right here and got to adjust it just a little bit here. Boom. Yeah, that's our consolidating wedge of hex, which is, oh, Jiminy Christmas. This is hex and weth. This is hex on Uniswap V2. This is the E hex that's why this isn't matching, is because I had the other hex on here, where is the other hex? Here's the other hex. Here's the hex and pulse. So this one's down to like 1/10 of a penny. This is back down to almost half a penny. This was insane. This one's absolutely insane right here. So like this. Should be able to just lift this up, move it. There it is. There's my other line. Let me bring that up here. All right. Otto, dude from The Simpsons that rode the bus. He's one of the coolest dudes growing up. He's got some great lines in there too. Yeah, so that's it. That's across now, but just obviously broke out, came back into this descending wedge. This is what I wanted to talk about was this idea that I came up with after painfully missing out on not taking enough profits back in October of 2022, 3 years ago, almost to the like we're a month past that. And if I could find a good chart, in fact, I bet you maybe Etherscan would have a good chart. I don't know, maybe CoinGecko. Or actually, yeah, it's weird that CoinGecko Terminal, it says this has 2 years of history. Sorry, this one, it says has 4 years of history. But it's really not. So here's October of 2021, October of 2022. So this is showing that the price of Hex was 36 cents. But I'm pretty sure October 2022 is when we hit our 50 cents. And this one's spiking up just like for one tiny minute to 46 cents. I don't think this is accurate of the WETH of the one on Ethereum. But either way, those that sold up here, if they had done that strategy that I talk about with you guys, where basically you buy a token, you note the price, you keep a little bit of dry powder on the side, which would have been really helpful in this market. And then you sell 10% of your bag every time the price doubles. So like we had 11 doubles on Hex that we were all so proud of. If you would have sold 10% on each one of those doubles all the way up, you would have been selling some at 40, 50 cents. Maybe not a lot, but some of it. And then every time it fell 50%, you could take 10% of your bag and buy back in. And you'd be sitting on a huge, huge bag of hex. And right now, if you had started that, same with Pulse. Pulse is a little different because a lot of us got in on the sacrifice. So you'd have to figure out what your sac price was. And most of us ended up spending all of our Pulse surviving and trying to degen back into other plays, or just paying bills, that we didn't, we figured we'd make a huge return on our money before that. And for those that are hanging on to it or validating, the people being validators of Pulse, my hat's off to you. Like, you guys stacking Pulse at these prices that's I think going to pay off really well in the future. So again, and look at that let's look at dark. Like, I want to tell you guys when and how to sell dark, or when and how to sell your fuel cells. Like, look at this. Like, obviously, if you had got in here at $20, you would have bought 10% of your bag back, put 10% of your bag into dark as it hit $10 right here. And then it went right back up to 20. So you would have bought with 10%, sold again because it doubled, sell 10% of your bag. Then you would have bought back at $10 again. And then you would have bought back in at $5, 10% more. Then you would have sold 10% back when it went up. Well, it didn't quite hit 10, so you might not have sold there, and you might not have been on the gun. But you could do these. You can actually do these orders on OX Bistro. So you go on OX Bistro and say, okay, I'm going to sell this many of my tokens at this price, this many tokens by this price, and so forth. Or you could well, I guess you'd have to buy them off the market or look for someone else selling them at those prices. And so, yeah, I mean, depending on where you got in, a lot of people in our community, very few people have bought mini dark. Like, most people that have dark got it from the very beginning, mostly, and or won it in contests, some of it. But most of the sacrificers, we'll call them sacrificers, the sac price of dark was anywhere from 13 cents to like $13 at the very highest. So that's what your price getting in is at. And had I or anyone else sold on these doubles from when they got in for $1 to $13 right here. Yeah, this whole range right here was the sac price. So everyone was made, whole right here on ROI. And then if they would have just sold on a double going up, they would have been able to sell a few times, buy a few times, sell, buy, sell, buy, maybe sell, probably not. Yeah, that was that $10 one that probably didn't sell, but buy. So yeah, you could have bought it at $5, $2.50, and then $1.75. This would be like your buy right there going on the way down. So I highly, highly recommend, as things do kick off, which I believe they will, know how much of your bags you're going to sell of dark, of hex, of HTTs, whatever you've got your hands on. Those of you that are sacrificing right now for ProveX, know what you can sell, because if you do this simple method of taking value and dollar cost averaging in with the same bag, you will almost always mathematically end up with much more coins than you started with, even if the value fluctuates, obviously going up and down. And to stack a bunch of powder going up is so hard emotionally and mentally, because you're so excited and you just want to, you're buying, like, that's why people chase green candles. It's euphoric. It's the dopamine hit. And you kind of have to discipline yourself. And even if you have to put it on autopilot by putting some of it for sale on OX Bistro or something like that, then that's what's going to happen. And the thing that I'm hoping to see that we haven't seen very much is people go into the marketplace and I would really like each one of these. Like I said, we call these the Michael Jordan rookie cards. These first ones right here, the originals, and then maybe we'll call this like Kobe and LeBron and Shaq. I think we'd call Hex T. Armstrong the Shaq because he's just so lovable. But he's just really great at rebounding. I kid, but no, like I want to see these take on a life of their own and trading cards back and forth as they go up and down in value, and that would actually, that would keep the economic energy in the system. Now, like I said, right now what we're seeing is people are just vaporizing and dumping, which that's definitely one of the mechanisms and levers that we put in play. But yeah, I think this is the game. The game is to keep the fuel cells and trade the fuel cells in and out, and then you're still locking that dark matter off the market and taking profit in another token. So yeah, that's the move that I see, and that's the same with like Hex time tokens. You can actually buy and sell liquid T-shares now. Oh, speaking of Shaq, how are you doing, buddy?
I would prefer Franco Harris,
No
the
one knows who
Iron
that
Curtain
is.
of the
No,
70s.
I wasn't
Maybe Larry
alive in the
Zonka?
70s.
How about Larry Zonka? There's a
I'm not a young man. I still don't know who those people are. Corey and investors in here. Good point. Nothing is actually original. Impossible. Yeah, Smo Spider. Good artist copy. Great artist steal. I love that. I missed a couple of these jokes up here, but Corey and investors in here. Hey Max, good to see you live, my man. Is that scrape button work today? It is not. I don't think it might work before the end of that 9 days. It might not. It's that point in the market where devs have to go wherever they can get fed, and we don't have a lot of work to keep our devs busy right now, which is why I've tried to give them recommendations and promote them and refer them to other people to keep them busy, because they really are some of the best devs I've ever worked with. And so but at the same time, it's hard to get their attention and time if you're not willing to like keep them busy. So again, the scrape button, which we hoped to have the scrape button, we hope to add another button to this, which we're still working on. However, it is going to take upgrading the Evil smart contract to do so. So it could be a while. I think it's more likely that we get this Evil poker game going first, which I've been talking to. So I didn't understand this at all. I thought this was like a house game where we would have to put a bunch of dark up for the casino, and people would play and try to win the dark. And then there'd be like a house rake, a house percent, a house fee. It turns out this is P2P. This is player versus player. So there is no there's no house money starting with this. It would just be one person against a second versus P2P. So this is like you would log in and wait for someone else to join, and then you would play against the other person and decide how much you wanted to bet on the first hand, the second hand. And I've asked him to see. He says it would complicate things to bet on. So this is the flop. The first three are the flop. Second one, fourth one's the river, and last one I believe is the turn. I could be backward. Either way, I was like, man, if people could bet on each card being revealed, that would add a whole nother level of degeneracy to this gambling. And so we'll see where that goes. I told them also we just need to put this. Forget testnet. Let's put this on mainnet and play it, because there's so few people on Pulse Chain right now, and just very, very few people paying attention to dark matter anti-gravity, that it basically is like a low stakes test net at this point. And then you don't have to work out any bugs when you go from test net to mainnet. So yeah, I would tell them, let's just launch this live on Pulse Chain and give it a shot.
Hey Max, did you solve the mystery of the T card? What's the T card?
It's a 10. I believe it's a 10. That's what.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing that makes sense is it's a 10, because I'm guessing that there's only room for one character on each card, and so instead of a 1-0, they put a T. So that's my guess. That's the one that makes the most sense. But
Yeah,
I
can
think
go
a
with
10
that.
it would make more sense on your seeing the T in a card game is it kind of messes with your head a little bit. Looks like fun. I sleep with my cards, lulz. Yeah. So anyways, like I said, I want to just touch on that craziness about had we taken profit or more profit at 50-cent hex, the amount of hex and pulse and ProveX that you'd be able to stack for right now would be absolutely insane. Your bags would 10,000x basically if you just kept buying when it went up and selling when selling when it went up, buying when it went down. But of course, that is very hard to do psychologically and emotionally. Speaking from experience, I did not take nearly enough profits at 50-cent hex. In fact, I think I took profits at 10 cents on the way up, maybe 20 cents and 10 cents on the way down. But most of mine was taken in the Maximus. So I converted a ton of my hex to Maximus DAO when it came out. And then as hex was fallen, and I didn't think hex would ever go back below 10 cents personally. And I was really wrong about that. But either way, once it started falling below that, I was still able to sell my Maximus DAO tokens for 10 cents or so. And that was like the last time I really took serious profit out of crypto.
Yeah. Can I ask how many percentage of your hex bag was liquid versus state? If you don't mind disclosing.
I tried to keep 10% of my hex bag liquid.
Yep.
But the problem was that I did what I was supposed to. And the T-shares were paying out so much that in order to keep 10% liquid, I basically haven't been restaking because I have so much paid out from the big payday bonus, things like that, it's hard to do that. And now I know that I want 90% of it liquid at the bottom of a bull run. You know what I mean? And just to be able to take that money and store it into stables or get that dry powder for the long, long winter. And if you look at, let's say Bitcoin, for instance, Bitcoin 3 years after, so it was like 60K right around May of 2021, spring of 2021. And then you go 4 years. Actually, let's go back to the previous one. This one's garbage. So it hit $20 grand right around December, like the end of 2017. By the end of 2021, it had already 3x'd. So it had already, like, this 4-year cycle was textbook until we had the double top. And even the previous cycle that went from $1,000 to $20,000, that one was pretty textbook and swingy. And then this one is marred with all sorts of, like, the ETF and institutional manipulation and sabotage. This is just turned into Rocky Mountains or like shark teeth, right? And the Bart Simpson head. So you got the Bart Simpson head here, and here. So really, if this had rhymed, then you have this peak right here. Even if you counted this peak in 2021, but this peak right here in spring of 21. So in the spring of 25, which is already passed, we should have had our 3x. So last spring we should have hit 150 or our peak, and we didn't. We 2x'd almost, and now it's still ranging. It's still waiting to decide how high it's going to go. And of course, we're waiting on Ethereum, and Ethereum is waiting on Bitcoin. So with this being delayed, it's going to delay the Ethereum, and it's going to delay altcoin season. So I don't think by any chance, I know there are people that are pessimistic and say, oh, Pulse Chain missed this bull cycle. It's like, are you drinking crack from a mug? What are you talking about? We didn't miss anything. It hasn't hit. And the fact that Richard Hart has this longer timeline on ProveX makes me think that he also sees our altcoin season at 6 to 18 months away, probably closer to 18 months away from now.
I think that was part of his plan all along, because he mentioned, I don't care about alt season, because you can't predict it.
Mm-hmm.
He just cared about, I think there's an advantage, although the KOLs don't agree with me. I think there's an advantage with delaying. I know it hurts if you're down on bag forever, and the whales and the multipliers have been dumping on your head, especially over the last 12 months. It's hurt, but our chart bounced pretty good off the big bloody red market. There's several charts. PulseX, if you look at the PulseX chart, not that I hold any, but that thing recovered within 6 hours.
Yeah, I really don't know many people unless you had, oh, you're breaking up and going robot. Try now. You still there?
Yeah, I'm off grid, so I'm probably getting in and out.
You're back. The last thing that we heard was you were saying that if you look at PulseX recovering, which I just pulled up the chart right here, I'm going to put it like on the 1 hour chart.
Within 6 to 8 hours, that dip was bought back up.
Yeah, and unless you had some sort of buy order down here, I don't know how many people actually picked it up. I mean, well, I'll tell you who picked it up. The liquidity providers picked this up, right? So because all you do when you're providing liquidity is you're setting constant buy and sell orders for between two pairs. So as the market dumps one for the other, you're taking what they don't like, what they don't want, right? So if you were providing PulseX and Wrap Pulse right here, you'd be filling, your bags would be filling up with Pulse all the way down, and then they'd be filling up with PulseX on the way down, and then they'd be filling with Wrap Pulse on the way up, and vice versa. So you'd be like constantly changing your ratio, the two of them, by providing liquidity. So the liquidity providers, which I know a lot of people pulled a lot of liquidity a couple of days before this, that's pretty sus in and of itself. Makes me think that Richard Hart does have some lanes of communication open with some of the wells in the ecosystem. And yeah, we see, so people knew something was coming ahead of time, including a lot of, I don't know, I didn't watch the core tokens to see where their liquidity went, but I'm guessing that 90% of the liquidity in the cores at least is related to the OA, right? So, and why wouldn't the OA be fine sitting on all of their core tokens?
Well, we also have, regardless of what your personal opinion of the marketing and the messaging currently with Rich, he owns the chain. I mean, he sneezes and the chain's going to react. He sends a text out, or that account sends a text out, and the market reacts. That's just the nature of the beast. We're all riding his economic energy up and down. The belief it has to be is, if you're not over leveraged and you're too late to try to make any money with Bitcoin and whatnot, just because the market's played itself out, as well just hold. Selling at this point makes absolutely have to, because you're wrecked. Selling at this point makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, why would you take your basketball and go home when it's flat? You might as well just hang out with the dudes at that point, right? So Smoke Spider says Pulse Chain rocks. I told the postal worker about Hex last week. LOLs, he was seriously interested. That's funny. We were hanging out with some financial. I don't know if I call them financial advisors, but that finance is their industry, and they help people with setting up stuff with life insurance and things of that to build wealth over time. And we were telling them about.
Say it with me. It's death insurance. It's not life insurance. That's just market. It's death insurance.
Well, some of it's death insurance, but if you use it as a bank for yourself, then it would be life insurance, because it actually would be like a life bank, right?
Yes, in that case, but traditional term life insurance is actually death insurance, and you should
Sure.
have it. Like, heaven forbid if the
I think XT Armstrong is checking on his private keys in a cave somewhere. Make sure they're ready for the altcoin season. He's breaking up, but yeah. If you, I believe, that you should have some. I've got like 10K through being a veteran, and I do not foresee. I don't foresee my funeral costing anywhere near 10 grand. Just because I'm not thinking about anything opulent or normal, but yeah, you do that. Cannot hear Hex T Armstrong either. Yeah, he's going in and out. That's okay though. I appreciate him joining us, talking about this stuff, because I was just looking at the ETH chart as well, and ETH hit $4,700 right here in the beginning of 18. And then it peaked again. It went from 4,700 to actually this is actually garbage. It's not showing the previous peak at or maybe this is like the first peak. Is this the first bull run of Ethereum? No. What? Nope. Yep, it kind of is, because I remember in 2015, Ethereum had just come out. So this was its first real bull run, was all the way up to 4,700 from, basically if the VCs and the people that got in at the beginning of Ethereum were getting it as cheap as like 13, 15 cents. So that's a hell of a return to get up to, wait, no, is that right? Okay, so that was in 18. 18, it went up to 1,200. Yeah, beginning of 18, it was 1,200. And then this is when it went up to like 4,700. So beginning of 18, and then look, it's not even the beginning of 2022. So just shy of 4 years, it hit another all-time high. So if this is like following the same thing, the fall of 2021, it's the fall of 2022. Right now, if this was the same time frame, if it rhymed, then Ethereum would be peaking right now, give or take. And Ethereum has not really begun its actual run. Well, not only that, but if you look at this, I mean, like, it went back up to its previous high within two years? No, 3 years. So in 3 years, it was up to its previous high. And here we are at 4 years, and we're hitting a previous high. So we're like a year delayed in Ethereum. And yeah, it's everything is the clock is off. The manipulation and government and banks are coming in here. And that's the other thing, is looking at the economy and tax and the stock market, all sorts of stuff right now. Everyone's looking to the government to save them. Everyone's looking to the government because they think that the government is the source of energy, the source of money, source of power. And that's just a big illusion. I mean, all of our rights come from ourselves. All of our power comes from ourselves. And everything that you've earned, all your money in your life, hasn't come from your employer. It hasn't come from the government. It hasn't even come from an industry. It's come from you, your energy, your intellect, the spiritual and physical energy that's inside of your body has created everything around you in your life, good and bad. That's kind of a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, you are the source of money. You are the source of energy. And as far as time's concerned, you can look at it two ways. Either we all have the same amount of time in a day, or my take is that time's not real. Time is just an illusion. It's part of this illusion that gives life meaning, right? Not to get too philosophical, but Alan Watts, the good old Alan Watts quote is, he talks about, if you were to listen to a song and play, so you have a 3-minute song and you take all the sounds in the song and you play them at once, it's just going to be noise, right? But if you spread those sounds out to 3.5 minutes, or you spread them out through time, now you have a beautiful song with rises in melody and changes in key. And if you're lucky, there's a really nice rising action to a crescendo. And that's the way our life is that if you zoom out, if you hit those levels of meditation and peace, or just sitting quietly at church where you feel that sense of eternity, so to speak, then everything that's happened in our lives has already happened. Everything, and everything that's going to happen has already happened. We just haven't experienced it yet. And so really, like I said, everything that we're experiencing is energy, and every physical thing that we experience is energy pretending to be matter. So matter and energy are interchangeable. Wow. I don't know. I did not plan on going here today, but the point is that this is energy. This is just measuring the energy and the belief of people going in and out of a system, out of a shared narrative. And oh yeah, the government, like I said, everyone's waiting for the government to fix things, but the government, then the government by its very nature cannot fix anything. It can only hinder things. It is only ever a drag on the economy and our lives and our time and our resources. So I don't know if that'll ever change in my lifetime, where people realize that government is as fake as money is, and that it's just a shared fiction. But the truth is, you can realize that in your own personal life. You can realize that you are the source of energy. You're the source of, the intelligence. Everything that you've ever done, good or bad, has already happened. You just haven't experienced it yet. And so this next bull run, it's already happened. We just haven't watched that part of the movie yet, right? If you think of our lives like a movie being projected on a screen, and oh, geez Louise, I'm going so deep here. Let me go back to comments. I want to get lost in the weeds here. According to Robert, I will need to zoom out and get a job at IKEA. Truth, the goober, and time. Yes, true. Hello, 2026. I think so. That's what I think. Oh, Hexy's gone. So let me just kill my screen. I wanted to share some other stuff, but basically, just suffice it to say that everything is cheap. Everything's on sale. If you have any dry powder, there hasn't been a better price than this to buy Hex and Dark. Yeah. So I don't know. I listen to a lot of Michael Singer. If you guys don't know, he's got a podcast. He's basically a white Jewish yogi that grew up in Florida, and he's got a killer podcast. But basically, he talks about how this is very, very Buddhist and Eastern philosophy, but he talks about how we are the light, and we're a light shining at our lives, at our psyche, at our bodies, at this whole world, this life that we're living. And he's on Spotify. But we think that we're the thing that the light is shining on, which is this experience that we're in. But the truth is, we are the source of that energy. We are tied into God or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call your higher power. We're actually 99.999% higher power, and 0.00001% what we are convinced is real here. So I love Buddha Jews. Yeah, he's a good dude. He breaks it down very logically. If you like logical stuff, it helps a lot more. It's less woo-woo and more built on facts and observational stuff. So I would leave that with you guys today. And also, like I always say, remember that you're here for a reason. Like, there's a purpose, there's a reason that this energy, this source, this eternal God, Buddha, universe, whatever source of energy you want to call it, there's a reason that energy is created this experience that we're all going through. And so you guys are eternal. You guys are, like some people say, we're made of stardust. It's like, yeah, we are. And what you do matters. Like your life has a purpose. Your life has a meaning, even if no one else is noticing it. And what you do matters. So that's why you are the service king today. Thank you very much for noticing that. Yeah, we live in a scripted reality. Yes. What Ram Dass or someone said that reality is an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. And so, yeah, we are a very interesting creation. We're part human, part energy, part physical. We're also part spiritual, and it depends on where you want to put your focus in that whole thing. That determines the quality of life, the amount of peace or joy in your life. And I believe every single one of you are worthy of the desires of your heart. You're all worthy of peace and love and self-acceptance and happiness. Like, you guys are all worthy of those things. That's why I think that's what we're here to do, is to learn to choose the spiritual side versus the very loud and overwhelming physical side that includes our thoughts and our emotions and our physical sensations and our relationships and all this. It's I don't know. Like I said, I did not plan on getting here today on this rant. I really just want to talk about the markets and making sure that as things are on life support and people are completely destroying, bludgeoning the pulse chain ecosystem for this ProveX sacrifice. Think of your plan for when things do go crazy. If they go crazy, what if Hex hits $1? What are you going to do? What if Dark gets back to $135 or maybe something higher? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your Dark? What are you going to do with your fuel cells? What are you going to do with your Hex? What are you going to do with your actuator and your Hex time tokens? What are you going to do with your Dr. Doge and your airdrops? What are you going to do with that Dr. Doge if Dr. Doge goes to 2 cents? What are you going to do? I don't know. Smoke's calling for 1K Dark. Dark, buy it. Yeah, I gotta go pack my lunch. In as much as this is all an illusion, I still like food. My body still likes food, so I'm gonna go pack a lunch for work today and go hit it. But just think of those things. Think about, we're obviously delayed about a year right now. And so 2026 could be insane in the membrane, bananas. And I believe that the other thing I would say is that I think that I believe that we meet each other for there's a reason that we meet each other. Sometimes you meet someone in your life because they're there to add pain and suffering and suck to it, to push you in the right direction, to overcome how you take care of that and how you deal with people in your life. And sometimes people are to show up at the right time at the right place, because they're there to guide you or help you, love you, forgive you, show you grace, mentor you. So I believe that the collective, I believe all of you guys and myself, whether we met in person or met online, I believe we met for a reason. And I just really appreciate everything you guys do and appreciate who you are just by being here. And I appreciate the person that's always asking me if I'm going to stream tonight. Are you going to stream tonight? You stream tomorrow? You going to stream tonight? Because I appreciate that motivation and that encouragement. So thank you so much, each and every one of you, Smo, for the art and the edits, everyone else that has been contributing to the art and helping us get this metadata on chain. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So yeah, let's all super cycle. It's going to be something's got to give. the trillions and trillions of dollars that the government has printed out of thin air, it's got to go somewhere. Unfortunately, it's going to hit us with inflation first, but eventually it'll flow into other places. So just hang in there, you guys. We're going to make it. We've already made it. We've already experienced the super cycle's already happened somewhere in time and space. We just haven't experienced it for ourselves yet, and so look forward to that, and know that we're gonna make it. I mean, there's no way a community this talented and loyal and appreciative and smart and funny is gonna lose in the long run, as long as we got each other, and as long as Big Daddy Richard Hart is still fighting for fame and significance. Yeah, I felt the earth move that with that one max. Awesome. All right, love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll let you guys know if our dev shows up and fixes the scrape button in the next 9 days. If not, then you're going to want to be minting. You're going to want to mint J9. J9's coming up on our birthday's coming up very soon. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm not sure what's going on that weekend, but I will have at least my laptop and my mobile studio with me to stream with you guys on the birthday. It's a big deal that we've survived a year on Pulse Chain. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Love you. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.